This is Double Scoop, and if you are watching this, 2025 has come to a close. 2025 was full of movie releases, both good and bad, and today I'm going to be talking about my personal favorites and my least favorites. We'll start off with the movie I watched first this year, which is Captain America: A Brave New World, starring Anthony Mackie. Thing is, I like Anthony Mackie. He's given us plenty of good memes, and I really like his character Sam as the Falcon. Of course, he has the whole legacy of living up to Steve Rogers / Chris Evans, and overall this movie was just bland. The whole villain plot was really not doing anything. Like, the Red Hulk barely had any screen time, but I did like Harrison Ford, and I thought he was a nice addition, and I just wish his character had more to work off of. I would give this movie 2.5 stars out of 5. The next movie is Mountainhead. This movie is about 4 rich guys that are in a mansion as the world around them turns to chaos due to their business ethics. And that's basically the plot. The plot isn't very interesting, but I do think the actors do a good job. Like, Steve Carell's in this movie, and he always crushes his roles. This just was boring, it was bland, and overall, I will give it a 2 out of 5, and on Letterboxd, it has an average of 2.5, and on Rotten Tomatoes, its audience score is 20. The next is The Woman in Cabin 10, a Netflix original. It is actually based on the book, but I've not read the book, so this is just based on the film. I watched the trailer, and it overall gave Death on the Nile or Knives Out, but I would recommend those if you're looking for the vibe. This movie basically follows Keira Knightley's character of a detective journalist going on a yacht for rich people and she basically just gets gaslit. I would give it 2.5 out of 5, and I know that on Rotten Tomatoes the audience score is 32% and the critic score is 26%. Moving on to the best. Starting off with the movie I watched first this year, Thunderbolts. This movie gave me hope for the MCU, especially after the Captain America. The movie follows a ragtag group of anti-heroes discovering that they're all working for the same evil boss, Valentina. This movie perfectly balances the dark moments with the comedy. The dark parts are dark, because this movie definitely focuses on mental health, like depression, and its dark side effects. I liked to see this represented in a movie, and it was great that it was in a superhero movie where they usually aren't very serious, and I thought it was nice that this movie clearly had an idea and a message that it wanted to share. And the message was effective. I remember tearing up a couple times, and I was very emotionally affected. I would give it a 5 out of 5. The next movie is Companion. This movie follows a couple going to meet up with their friends in the woods when we find out our main character Iris is a companion bot, and things go south when her boyfriend tries to power her off. That's the basic summary, but it's a lot better than that. The first thing I would like to say that I liked about this movie is the main character's Iris has a absolutely amazing fashion sense, and the wardrobe is so good in this movie. Also, this movie is able to be sort of thriller horror without being overly scary, and most of it is comedy, and the comedy is done very well. I also like how this movie kind of reverses the trope of robots are evil, but it does kind of show how we kind of fear robots becoming human-like and sentient, which the robot in this movie is Iris, and Iris does believe that she's a real person. I would give it 4.5 stars out of 5. Our last section is honorable mentions. These are movies that didn't particularly stand out, but I still think they're worth mentioning. First off, the F1 movie. Great to see my favorite sport on the big screen. K-pop Demon Hunters for taking the world by storm. Running Man for making a movie where I could stand Glenn Powell. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. A nice continuation of the previous. Fantastic Four. Superman for being one of the best superhero movies of the year. Frankenstein for being an actual good Netflix movie. Wake Up Dead Man for being a nice continuation of the Knives Out, which are one of my favorites. Eternity for making an actual good love triangle. Marty Supreme for having a great marketing and a very strong cast with good performances. So thank you all for watching.